Hello, this is Terrorizer here in Krakow. I'm here with Ben from Dillinger Escape Plan. How's it going?
Good.
So we're going to get straight into the thick of it now, and we'll talk about some exciting new news that you've got going on. 2010 is going to bring us a new Dillinger album, apparently.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Option Paralysis. What stage are you at with that?
We are in the middle of writing it right now, and we took a little break to come to Krakow, Poland, and play with. Hear that?
Yeah. Is that Hatesphere?
I have no idea, but it sounds like the gates of hell just opened up, and I'm very scared.
I was just wondering why you chose the name before you've actually finished the product itself. I mean, are you working with a concept here? Are there any ideas in place, and what does it mean?
Well, I guess something that's been bothering me a lot is just the fact that we're one of the few bands that is still touring, and aside from old bands, we're not old. Well, I'm old, but I try not to let anyone know about that age. But I guess there's a couple bands that from our genre that are peers with us, I guess, that are still relevant and touring, that come from a time before MySpace and before YouTube and before there was all this information constantly shoved down people's throats. And it's one thing that I think people ask us, what's the difference between you guys and a lot of the bands that came after you guys that are doing a similar type of music and things like that. And I think the main thing is just the fact that we did exist before there was any hope of being part of some kind of mass media or part of or actually making a living at doing this even. We never had any intentions of doing this for a job. We didn't think it was possible. When we started, there was no Ozfest. There was no, there was no chance of being on, MTV or some kind of, major media network, music network or anything like that. The bands that were in, metal magazines were just so far out of reach for us. They seemed like these giant bands that we just listened to as kids. We never thought it was possible to be a part of any of that. So, and we started this band with the only intention of just making music that we really liked. We had no guideline. Dillinger is started because of my bar mitzvah.
Because of your bar mitzvah?
I got my first guitar for my bar mitzvah.
So what you're actually saying is that if Judaism didn't exist, there would be no Dillinger.
Exactly, and what I'm trying to say is if you had a bar mitzvah, you'd probably be in Lacuna Coil instead of interviewing me right now.
I'd be in Lacuna Coil. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'd rather say Bolt Thrower. Maybe I could be Jen Bench.
I'm just trying to think of a girl metal band.
Oh, slap in the face.
Okay. You would be in Most Precious Blood.
Oh. Well, I wish I'd had a bar mitzvah. I guess we have Moses to thank for calculating infinity.
No rules for how we should look or how we should sound. We just really took all of the influences we had around us and tried to create our own style of music based on what was going on without any intentions of making a living. And that's gone now. We live in a time now that there's a blueprint for everything. If you want to be a band, a big band, and be on big tours and be on MTV or be on whatever stations you guys out there have as stations or whatever for music. You go on MySpace and you just look up the band that's doing well. You see how many friends they are. You see how their hair is, and you see what they sound like. And you go on a message board and see what people are saying, and then you go on YouTube and you watch your favorite band play in every country in the world before you actually even go to a show. And everything's predictable. And the fact is that there's so much information being shoved down our throats now that nobody knows what's important anymore at all. And there's just people don't have to work for their music anymore, and I think that's creating artistically a really depressing time in music.
Fireworks, so a lot of people could be considered one of your more poppy albums. What are we to be expecting from what you've written so far from the new album? Are we expecting something that's as commercially accessible, or are we going kind of old school, more hard and heavy? What kind of sound are we going to be expecting from you?
So far, most of the music we've written is pretty intense. It gives me migraine. I've been working on it just throwing up. It makes no sense at all. So the people out there who are not fans of real music will probably like it because it makes absolutely no sense. It's disturbing.
So Billy Reimer, new drummer, joined you in January. How's that been going for you? Has he brought anything new and exciting to the Dillinger table?
Yeah, one thing that he definitely brings is a innocence and a youth. He's much younger than us, and he didn't do any really extensive touring before he was in Dillinger, and God, I mean, it's just great to see. I mean, he doesn't even know. He started as soon as he joined the band. His first tour was like this big Soundwave festival in Australia with like Nine Inch Nails and Alice in Chains, and you know, we do very well over there, and that was his first kind of experience with Dillinger fans, was out on these huge festivals. Then we did some small shows, and we just threw him right into a basement show. Like, we're like, let's play a basement in New Jersey, announce it like 10 minutes before we play, and just, you know, pack this kid's house and just play. And that was a total throwback to how we started. You know, so and then we come to Europe, and we're playing, you know, our own show, and then we're playing some big festival, and then we're playing. So it's cool because he has no idea what a Dillinger fan is, because he's been thrown into so many different scenarios. And I think that's the best thing about it, is that a Dillinger fan is like no specific person. You know, we've played shows with Old Dirty Bastard and Mr. Bungle and Testament, and you know, and the diversity of this band is what I love about it most. And he reminds me of that, you know, seeing him just not knowing what's going to hit him next, and just that's exciting. And he also has like this nervous energy of having huge shoes to fill that's bringing back what this band was all about. Every other drummer we played with had almost 10 years on him, and he is like already just doing things that I've never even seen before, and the writing is just insane. I mean, there's more drum notes played in this new songs than I've probably heard in any other band ever. You know, it's insane. He's gonna probably die. I just keep throwing pain pills at him. I'm just, keep playing faster. I moved him into my house for 4 months to write, and he would just come up and be like, my hands hurt, and I'd be like, get down there, and just throw like painkillers at him.
Drum labor.
Yeah, it's fun.
You had a lot of guest spots as well on the last album. You had Brent Hinds from Mastodon. You also had the original singer Dimitri. Have you approached anyone about working with you on the new album?
We haven't approached anyone, but you never know.
Who have you had anyone in mind?
Minute, you know?
Anyone in mind at all? No one in particular?
I don't know. Liza Minnelli was on the My Chemical Romance.
Tina Turner?
I would love Tina. She is hot, man.
I think she's hot.
Yeah, she's like a grilf, like a hot grandma.
So, you're going to release this on your new label.
What?
You're going to release this on the label
yeah.
Phonogenic?
No, that was actually a misinformation out there. It's actually called Party Smasher Incorporated.
Really?
That's the actual name.
Party Smasher Incorporated.
Yeah.
So how did the other name kind of leak out there?
We had like a couple of names we were thinking about, and then like the press person just kind of
ran with it.
I think, yeah, or someone said something like we were thinking about it, and just the internet, it's like you say one thing, or shit your pants, everyone knows about it in like 3 seconds. The whole world knows about it.
So it's a collaboration with Seasons of Mist. Anyway, How did that happen?
We were done with our record deal with Relapse Records, and a lot of labels were coming to us, giving us all kinds. And I had all kinds of deals, like anything from your traditional record deal to distribution deals with big labels to 50-50 profit splits to any combination of things, And the one thing that we realize is that in this day and age, it's like the freedom and just operational freedom and the ability to just have 100% artistic control, and even more importantly, well, not more importantly, but just as importantly in this day and age where the industry is changing constantly, the ability to evolve as things change, because nobody knows where it's going. So when talking to Michael, the president of Seasons of Mist, he had been courting us for a while. I never thought about it because most of the bands on the label were like, more black metal and, kind of fit into like kind of a box of like a certain type of genre. And one thing about Dillinger is like we know, like I said earlier, like we've always done a lot of diverse things, and so we didn't want to be stuck in any kind of like pigeonhole situation. But then he, simultaneously while talking to us, they signed Cynic. We were huge fans of Cynic, like huge influence on us, and we're talking to some other bands that we really liked, and he just offered us a deal we can't refuse, which is basically the freedom to do exactly what we want to do and the way that we want to do it, and help us get it out there without any real commitment or ties that'll hold us down from evolving as things change and trying new things.
If you could give us a date, we know it's 2010, but do you know roundabout? Is it going to be summer, spring? Do you have a month on it yet?
Right in the beginning of the year.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for.
February.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Okay, thank you very much. Give
Thank
me a
you.
high five. I'm going to be sitting in the corner, calculating infinity.
That's a little American movie you might have heard.
Is it? Yeah. And yeah. So Krakow, over and out.